I've never done stand-up because I wanted to be famous. I wanted to give a voice to people who didn't have one. That's always been very important to me because I'm consistent. They're like, oh, she really is about that life.
Yeah.
Your husband's a 10-year-old boy too.
Yeah, that's why we get along.
Your besties.
We're gay. We're like a little baby gay couple.
I love that.
I don't know. I don't know what I meant, but
Somebody's going to respond to that.
Yeah, well, whatever.
you'll get a good clip.
And then another comedian came and said, no, they just want to know if you want to do drugs. I was like, I don't do drugs. Like,
It's so funny how you have to like suss out what people actually are saying when they say one thing. You're like, wait, so can people just be direct and purposeful and intentional so that I don't have to like go through mental gymnastics?
Chelsea can't even look at drugs. She's on like a show for like kids or something.
I'm like, matcha, lavender matcha by Dialogue. Helps with anxiety.
Yes.
I couldn't sleep, so I was on the internet last night.
I'm sure we all have like a
Funny women
gajillion
today.
mutual friends.
Yeah.
And you do stand-up as well?
I do not do stand-up. I've attempted.
Okay.
But, you know, I think everyone who does stand-up is very brave.
Chelsea's
And I
on one of the
admire
biggest YouTube shows, and we're so honored that you're even here. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Thank
I mean,
you.
see, that's
Yeah.
what we want to do.
I know. That's
I love the
do we go on the
bravery though.
road?
So stand-up comedians, like
It's brave
I
to
feel-
spend all that time.
Let's start it
editing,
off. We can talk.
So it's a lot.
What's going on, guys? My name's Tarun Shetty. Welcome back to the Convo Sutra. So excited for this episode. But before we begin, let's do a quick intro for audio listeners.
Hey, I'm Natasha Chandel. I'm an actor, comedian, writer, and podcaster.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Sik, and I'm an actor and creator.
Hi, I'm Aida Rodriguez. I'm a stand-up comedian, a writer, an actor, director, and a podcaster.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Ida, one of my favorite people. I haven't seen you in years.
I
And congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. You're one of the kind ones. When
Really?
I started doing stand-up, I was surrounded by a lot of evil men. And
It's a
you
thing.
and Dwayne Perkins will always be like the nicest people that embraced. And remember we used to do the Westwood
Yes,
Brewing
back in the day.
Company? Yeah, they were just always kind. And you never forget that, right? And
It's true.
You just remember that.
Yeah.
I was kind.
Is grumpy
Yeah.
Like a
but
dick
kind.
now.
He's a grumpy
Are
old
you?
man, but he's kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Straightforward.
Well, I give what I get back to me, and she's always super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
such
do
a
you,
warm,
what
fuzzy
happened? What do you
feeling.
mean you're not nice anymore?
I don't know, like
You're nice.
family tragedy, like just the business. I don't know. You
Jaded.
get more jaded,
I understand.
you know?
I think you see yourself worse than you actually
This isn't
are.
about me.
Let's just all make
That's
it a
how you know
therapy
he's a
session
nice
about
person.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
This isn't about
So
me.
generous.
No, thanks. I appreciate that. A lot of people don't like me.
Really? That sounds weird. I don't know.
That is
That's
true.
projection. I don't know.
No, that is true. Because I run this like a business now. I'm very cold. I'll cut people off if I have to. People don't care about you. That's my new thing. I kind of like Natasha here, all the time because
I like you said I
Natasha.
kind of like.
No, because Natasha's like kind of gets it, like the business. And I love Chelsea because she's so positive. She's like the yin and yang,
Yeah, right? We balance each other out.
Anyways.
The yin to our
Oh,
dark yang.
Yin and yang, white and black.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, before I forget, I want to congratulate you on your YouTube show going to Netflix. That's huge.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
wait, tell
Lots
us,
of
what is
exciting
that?
things.
Can you set it up real quick for our viewers who are seeing for the first time?
Yes. So, Alan's Universe is getting picked up by Netflix, and also Alan Chicken Chow, my best friend, is collaborating with Netflix and Hub America to create an original series. So very
Great.
exciting.
Nice.
It's always so fulfilling to work with a group of people, especially like people who you love, your friends, for a long period of time, and see this labor of love just make dreams come true. So really, teamwork makes the dream work.
See the positivity?
I love that, though. That's because she's around the people.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are positive too.
Yeah.
I came back after that just going like, yeah, we can do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're
lovely.
here right now. I mean, Tarun, like brought us together, and that's how it starts. One person bringing a group of us
agree.
together, and we're just exchanging ideas and making things
Well,
flow.
I was doing a deep dive on you because I haven't seen a lot of your stuff in years. And what's really inspiring is that you give voice to your community and you're passionate about it. And I was like,
thank you.
because sometimes I want to give up on this and the other stuff I'm doing outside. And you're just a constant champion of your community. Was that always like on the forefront of like what you wanted to do?
Always. Yeah, absolutely, which is probably why I've struggled so much with stand-up, because I care about people. And I think my heroes in comedy cared about people. I love George Carlin. I love Richard Pryor. So I feel like I've never done stand up because I wanted to be famous. I wanted to give a voice to people who didn't have one. That's always been very important to me. So, and I think that's one of the things that people didn't know about me, and then they have, because I'm consistent, they're like, oh, she really is about that life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, all the art for me is about advocacy, giving voice to the voiceless communities, Black and brown people who are used to being shown one way, you know, and I'm always
Yes, that's
fighting
the
for our
big thing.
spectrum, you know, like it's just important to me. And so I'd rather be able to look myself in the mirror than to be a puppet for the machine. Like I've
Yeah.
never wanted to do that.
And for our cultural viewers who are not aware of you, you've had specials on HBO, on Netflix, like legit comic who's pushing the boundaries. And I know, like, I'm not female, obviously, but from what I've heard, it's really difficult. From all my friends who are female, like it's a man's world in comedy, and I feel it too as like a metro dude. Like it's hard. Like if you're not part of that bro community, it's hard. In fact, you've thrived, and that you continue to thrive is pretty impressive.
Well, thank you. This is the boost of inspiration that I needed today. 'Cause, you know, every morning I wake up and I'm like, do I still want to do this? Because it's so, it can be so disheartening.
I'm curious because you've been doing it for so long at such a high level. Like for both of you guys, because I think all of us in a way are talking about things that are cultural, right? Or we're trying to bring our culture a little bit more to the forefront. How do you guys like work on material and still make it relatable? Like even though it's cultural, or you might be speaking to your culture, but make it relatable to white audiences.
Everybody else. I think speaking about your culture is cultural. And I think that, like, I love my grandmother. My grandmother was my best friend. And I know a lot of white people, Black people who feel the same way about their grandmothers, Asian people. You know, I think it's important to show up and be the speck on the spectrum instead of thinking that you have to be responsible for the entire spectrum. Because I think that is the onus that people of color have that white people don't have. You know, like white people, when somebody says something, people don't say, oh, look at the whites. You know what I mean? They're just like, that person said something messed up. And we have to fight for that because the reality is that your experience is unique. And not like every brown woman in the world.
Yeah.
And you should be able to express yourself, whether you grew up poor, with money, and education, none.
Yeah.
And that's valid. You matter. And you have to remember that when you're writing your jokes.
Yeah.
Do you feel that pressure now? Like you carry?
I used to. Now I don't care anymore. All I care now is about being in the presence of good people. That's like above all things, my mental health.
How do you do that though?
My circle is really, really small. And I was happy to come do this because I was like, oh, he's one of the good ones.
Can I tell you, I know so many famous comedians from back in the day, and they gave me the runaround. I texted you, you were like, I'll be there. You tell me what time. So I appreciate you. And I haven't talked to you in years. And you were like, I'll be there. You let me know what time to be there. So that speaks volumes to me.
Well, it's because I remember you always being kind to me. Also, I don't think I'm famous or I don't think I'm successful. And I think
You
as
are.
a
You're
brown,
super
You
successful.
are
but that's
very-
being a brown kid. Like,
Yeah.
it's never enough. Like my mom is like, you should have gone to law school.
My husband's really good at reminding me about that.
I still think
'cause-
about that.
Yeah, because I think we're so hard on ourselves as artists, and success is always like the goalpost is always moving. So because of that, I don't think we give ourselves credit. Even like before you get a Netflix show, the fact that you were doing all the stuff you were doing, it's like that's achievement. You know, you've had multiple specials, like that's achievement. Like, well, I mean, think about yourself when you started, you know, and you were just trying to get that one special, and you have multiple, and reminding
Also,
ourselves
she
about
empowers
that.
other artists. You directed,
Ian Laura
you directed his
and
special at
Marcella.
HBO.
And,
Like,
and to go back to what she was saying is like, as an artist, when you're thinking about doing this for the people, it's less about yourself and you're just thinking about how can I do justice by the people and do it because you care about people. So it's so hard to think about like, oh, like I'm this person now after I've received this, because the mission has always been the same. It's always about like, I do this because I care about people.
Because you're in a collaborative team right now.
Yeah.
So do you feel that energy with the people as you guys rise together?
100%. Like, if you're going to be spending 12, 16 hours with the same people, you want to know that, like, you're just giving it your all for the same mission, for maybe 100 million kids, or just, you don't know who's watching, but you know that you're doing this to entertain someone.
Yeah, no, it's so true. And I think like what you said, like finding your tribe and finding those right people is so hard though. It's like, it's just the other day, especially in stand-up, like I feel a lot of people don't help each other a lot, you know, and they do. I think people are getting much friendlier than it used to be. But the other day I had a male comedian friend who helped me by like putting me in touch with the Don't Tell Comedy guys. And I was like, what? And he actually, because I was trying to get in for a while and he's in the system and he got me in there, and then I had to do my part and I did, and now I'm in the system.
Oh, good.
And I remember being like, my God, that was so nice of you. Like a lot of people,
It is like, what?
they just don't do
People
it.
help you.
And I am now like, okay, anytime if I can help somebody, I want to always be able to like pay it forward. But even like big comedians like yourself, when you know you're mentoring kind of the up and comers or developmental kind of guys, it's like it means a lot more than you guys even think it does. And like I've even opened and featured for big comedians, and some are very helpful and some are not at all. And they literally, if you ask even for advice, they shut it down the simplest, easiest way, which is like, who am I to tell you anything?
You know what? I want to create a database that we share amongst ourselves with information. Like, because I think we struggle. We don't have a union, and I think that's really
such a huge thing,
hurtful for us. You know, I can go to the conservatory if I can't afford to take acting classes because SAG has a conservatory, and I think with comedians we need that. But I want to have a database so that these are the bookers I know. Here, their email. I give everybody's information. I don't care. I'm like, here, you email this person. If they get mad, let them get mad. Ask for forgiveness, But I think it's important to share information.
I think people in general see this as not just comedians, but it's like a zero-sum game. I've got a partner who's pretty high up there in the film world, and we've been pitching. And I thought like the Indians would be like helping us. And I was like, we're getting more traction outside the Indian community. And I was like, no, not people our level, but people above. And so I was like, you know what? It is what it is. And I told her, we're going to raise this money ourselves. That's totally fine. Absolutely. That's the path that makes you stronger and adds to your character. And I see that in your work. Like, and I'm sure you get this a lot, like the rawness of it, which is what I love.
Thank you. I used to get ridiculed for it before, but it's just who I am. I think 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐸 said something that was really valuable. She said, network across. Don't try to network up.
Yes.
She said, network so that you can grow with your team and your crew. And I think that was a very valuable piece of information.
Chelsea, you guys did that. I think it's like networking across. You found like your friends and you partnered and collabed with the people that are next to you, and then you become.
Yeah. And it's such a cliche. You hear it in school all the time, like work with your friends and make something. And actually, so Alan and I, we met in college, and I actually felt so honored that he reached out to me to create content together, because he's been creating for a minute. I think maybe like 1 or 2 years before he worked with me. And it was just like, anytime I get a chance to, work with my friends or just like come there for the work, be professional, and then a natural friendship, comes to fruition just because, you're like comfortable and you see each other and you guys have good intentions. Like, that is always the gold standard.
But Chelsea, you're also an asset to him as well. I don't think you understand that. Even like here, like you're so like punctual, you get back to me right on time. The professionalism is so important.
Yes, I definitely.
And you're good on camera.
Thank you. Yeah, like I really respect people's time, and when I know that someone believes in me, like that is like the best like gift they can even offer. And so when I'm there, I'm like, I will be the most consistent, the most reliable, and the most helpful person. Like in the beginning, it was just me, him, and one camera person. And I remember like taking initiative. If I see I need a light, then the light needs to be shown here. Or like there's a prop that needs to be here. And I'm always offering and always seeing opportunities to make the best thing. And it's, for like his story or whatever video we're trying to make. Because I really don't feel like like, oh, I'm me, and like I'm here. I just feel like, oh, I'm of service.
Nice.
And I mean, it's just, we're also like, I have to remind myself, like, I'm a small speck in this big world. And being a little girl from Malaysia, coming all the way here, having gone through so much rejection, I'm just happy to have a seat around the table. Yeah.
Can we just copy you, clone? Like, are we at the clone stage yet of life?
I know.
I'd love
Wait, are
to,
you
like,
millennial?
I'm Gen Z millennial.
Oh my God, there it is.
As they call it. But you know what's great about that is that this is what I've always found is like the hardest thing is you can find collaborators, but collaborators who are as committed as you are, right? Who care about like if Tarun hits me up, I know if I come here, it's his product, but me being on top of my game helps his product. And like, you have to be as committed to that because if you don't, that's where I've found like one person is just pulling all the weight and somebody else is just like around, but you going like, hey, I'm going to correct the light.
Yeah.
It means that you are as invested, even though it might not have been your original seed of an idea.
Yeah, like 100%, like I come from a collective mindset and, trained in a conservatory where we function as an ensemble. So we're very hands-on and like, I also come from a basketball background. So we're always like, if there's a position that's open, you just fill it without having to like say like, hey, no, go over here. You just do it when you can see and
You're flowing.
Yeah. And people have blind spots too. So as a teammate, you got to like fill those blind spots and you never really have to tell them like, oh, I did that for you. Did you see that? Like, no, you just do it. And sometimes, you just put your head down and work and it just happens. Things happen.
I'm just going to find people who are athletes and went to a girls' school.
Good luck.
Let's just find those people. Yeah. Hey, we're looking for you.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. If you like this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks. When did everything kind of change? Because that's the blind spot that I have for you.
I think Last Comic Standing was where I started headlining, and then Tiffany's They Ready. Tiffany Haddish did the They Ready special for Netflix where she produced
I did
our
see that.
half
You
hours.
crushed that.
Thank you. That was what really but it's always been collaborative.
Stacking it.
Yeah, and it's always going to be that way because you go up, you go down, you think you're hot, then you're not. And I think comedians are, I don't know, for me, they're like civil servants because we're like healers. We are we're making the commentary. We're staying, if we are doing our job correctly, we are able to be the observers of what's happening socially,
The good ones.
politically.
Yep. Let's be clear about that.
Not because if you become a talking head for a cause, you're not a comedian anymore.
Yeah,
now
that's
you're just a talking head. But
Even like the TikTok comedians and stuff, I've got a big problem with sometimes because, I think the art's kind of been lost. So I get angry sometimes over that, but it is what it is.
because you're a purist, you just stand up. Yeah, me too. I don't do well on TikTok, and I hate crowd work because when I started doing stand up, they used to shame us for it. So it's really a different,
It's true. It was considered like a cop out. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, don't do crowd work. It was jokes.
I love that Payless Shoes joke you do on your special.
Oh yeah.
It's hilarious. I don't want to ruin it. Look her up. Watch the special. It's
Yeah, I have a really funny story with you because I started stand-up properly. It was just like June 2021. But in 2019, I wanted to, and I crashed your birthday party. Mm-hmm. I didn't
crashed her
crash
birthday
it.
party?
Yeah, I didn't crash it. We have a mutual friend. Shout out 𝐸𝐿𝐻𝐻. But he was invited to your birthday.
Yeah.
He was like, I know you want to do stand-up, come meet Aida. I was like, what am I going to just like come meet this woman? But I was like, okay, I'll come. And I remember I met my first agent from like at your party. She wasn't even an agent at the time. She was like Shams, Christina
Oh,
Shams.
Shams, who's now
a huge
Mad's manager.
Matt Rife's manager.
Yeah,
but
sure.
when I met her, it was like the very I came early to your party, and the very first human that I made contact with was her.
Christina.
And she was just like a manager at the Laugh Factory or just left. And she was like, I want to be an agent. And she was like, I was like, oh, I want to do stand up. And she's like, great, I'll book you. And I was like, okay. And then she booked my first 5 minutes at the Comedy Store. In
Dude, you have the
Laugh
superpower to network. I swear to God, putting the don't tell and this.
I know.
but I say that, but you know, we've talked about this before. I tell people. I don't hide it. I have no
but
shame
you're likable,
in it.
though. You're
no,
likable,
but I
though.
tell somebody what I'm interested in, and then I work towards it. So, like for the don't tell, I knew that my friend was in it, but I was like, hey, what can I do to stand out? And I was doing a bunch of legwork.
I love that.
And then I was like, okay, now I need to start. Like as a girl, it's a little hard to do the hang as a comedian. Like I'm also like, I'm married and shit. Like I live far away. Like I don't have time to go do the hang with all the comedians. So I'm like, if I go, it's got to be very purposeful. And so he was like, just come out and do the hang. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I went, and then he introduced me to people. I didn't even know that they were the bookers.
Well, she's like headlining in Naples and stuff. She's putting in the work to be a stand-up, which I respect Natasha a lot.
Thanks.
know?
I'm trying to
I never
just
really
wanna
did the
keep-
hang. So
Yeah.
it
Because
was
also, like, I'll be honest, like, as a girl, you have to be
Chelsea,
careful.
that's where you like hang out in clubs like for
Yeah,
hours.
sorry.
And Chelsea's like, what's
Oh
going on
yeah,
here?
the hangs. But
Yeah.
I'm piecing it together. So the hang is like when you like network
Yes.
with other
Yeah.
comedians and hoping that something will come out of it.
And we all
Yeah.
smoke pot, and you're sitting there like, Jeff Ross, please hire me so I can ride in your dumb roast.
because I don't
That's what it is.
Yeah, just be intentional, you know? And
Yeah.
like if you do good work, people would recognize that and then they'll reach out to you for an opportunity. You
But
don't need
also,
to, like,
it's like if you don't, like, I don't do drugs, I don't drink much. Like,
Oh my God.
I don't, though my birthday was
unacceptable.
But like that's how people bond, right? And like if you don't do that, and then as a girl you have to be careful because if you're friendly, they'll start thinking it's something more. So you have to be very. When I first started, my husband came to every show. He was my boyfriend at the time, but he wasn't doing it as like a thing. I just wanted people to know there's a person, and then they loved him, and because of that, it kind of got people to like chill out a little bit.
Nice.
Like, all right, because they're like, oh, she has somebody. And then I was like, now you can go. You have fulfilled your purpose. Don't show up at my shows again.
I always said that. I was at the Comedy Store a lot back in the 2010s, and everybody who partied, elevated, people like me, we all got shut out. You know, they're like, oh, you don't fit in here. So I really love the fact that you were like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to trailblaze my own path.
Yeah, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I mean, I've had drinks before, but I'm not a drinker because I think alcohol tastes disgusting. So I know that when I drank wine was because I was trying to relax because I have anxiety. And then I realized, okay, I need to go to the doctor and get something for anxiety because I don't like alcohol. But the first time somebody offered me drugs, I was like an after school special. And a grown ass woman. And I was like, what? I don't do drugs. Do I want to go to the bathroom? Like, it was weird because I had never, and I grew up in the inner city in Miami, and it was so weird. Somebody was like, you want to go to the bathroom? And I was like, is he trying to have sex? Like, I'm not in for any of it because this is weird. And then he's like, no, my girlfriend's coming with me. And I'm like, oh, so they're inviting me for a threesome in the back. And then another comedian came and said, no, they just want to know if you want to do drugs. And I was like, oh, okay, that's much better.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was like, I don't do drugs. Like,
It's so funny how you have to like suss out what people actually are saying when they say one thing. You're like, wait, so can people just be direct and purposeful and intentional so that I don't have to like go through mental gymnastics? to
Chelsea
figure
can't
it
even
out?
look at drugs. She's on like a show for like kids or something.
I'm like, matcha, lavender matcha by Dialogue. Helps with anxiety.
Yes.
it does. Yeah.
No, I always joke that like the only humans to survive an apocalypse will be white girls who do coke in like Starbucks bathrooms.
Yes,
I'm like, why specific? Like I've come out of so many Starbucks where it's like two chicks just come out and they're like, I'm like,
I got offered cocaine 2 nights ago at Pretty Armitage. I know enough about cocaine. I was like, is it laced with fentanyl? He's like, my stuff's good.
you're like, yeah, great. I'll find out the hard way, huh? No, I don't ever drink during shows or any of it. But I'm so curious, like how you.
And I've never done drugs before, hard drugs. And people are always like, really?
Yeah,
And I'm
I
like,
haven't
yeah,
either.
what did you think that I ran a
Why do
coke
they think
farm?
you're-
I didn't even know. Somebody was like, do you want to do a bump? And I was like, I had to go ask somebody, what is...
Nothing about your act says you're a cokehead.
No, I've never done drugs.
But is that like a misconception that people have about you?
I don't know. I think one of the misconceptions that people had about me is that I'm violent. And I think that it's racism. It's because I'm Puerto Rican. So I remember doing a comedy show with this white woman who was like a musical comic. And she introduced me by saying that if we're lucky, she won't pull out her knife. And so I dissed her back when I was like, oh, look, another talentless white girl who keeps getting elevated. And then, and she got mad and hated me forever, but she never took into account that she insulted me when she said that about me, and perpetuating that constantly. You know, I've had people think like, and listen, if I have to defend myself, I will. And that doesn't make me ghetto. That makes me a human being.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the idea that I lead with violence has always been something that, because it's a stereotype about Puerto Rican women.
Yeah.
And
Wait, how tall are you?
5'10".
Yeah, see that I would never even attempt to fight. I would never even
5'10"?
attempt to fight you.
5'9.5". Yeah, but you know, actually, I'm learning that anger is good. You know, as a woman, I've actually shut away anger for like as early as I can remember because I thought it hurt people. But I'm realizing that anger actually protects you. Like if I'm always being disrespected and my boundaries being crossed, and I'm always like, oh, like it's okay, then obviously I'm gonna be put in these situations where I'm not being protected. So now I'm realizing like I have to use my voice to fight for what's right, to protect myself, and to speak up for the voiceless. That's right. So anger is good for those
It's very good for
ladies out
I can
there.
never imagine you angry.
Yeah, so I'm only angry when I act, and I'm like, okay, that's a good,
You get to express
good place for it to let out, and it's also a safe environment. But I'm learning that recently.
I, funny enough, used to also be the exact same way. So I was in an abusive relationship when I was like 25, and the therapist was like, you know, doing this basically quadrant chart of my emotions. And she was like, do you see this thing? Like you have no emotion of anger. You don't feel it because Asian kids, like growing up, Indian girl, it was always, you have to be amenable to people. So it was like, be the sweet girl, and so I thought that being positive meant repressing, that like you should never have a negative feeling or emotion in your life because it's bad. And then I realized like I was getting sick, but got in abusive relationships. And then that therapist taught me like, okay, you have to learn to feel angry. And then I just went the complete other way. And I became like
You unleashed the beast.
it's like an angry little elf. And
But your
then
stand-up really
I
reflects a
found
lot of
halfway.
like, you know, not anger, but like attitude, you know, your stand-up. So
Yeah, mine too. That's where I started. I started very angry, and then I found my voice, and because I also was taught to be, you know, I grew up religious, and I was taught to be quiet, and it was just never me. I've always wanted to express myself, and I had to come to California to be able to do that. But I was really angry when I started doing stand-up, and I had a lot of men tell me, tone it down. You need to smile more on stage. You need to be nicer.
I never got that from you. It's so funny.
Yeah, because I didn't have to be like that around you because y'all were safe. You and Dwayne were safe. Like,
But Dwayne's like cult leader safe.
yeah, safe. Yeah,
You know Dwayne Perkins is?
Dwayne Perkins is so it's that was my safe space. They would stand in the back of the room because there were other comedians that would come about, and I was like, whoa, this is some other stuff happening over here, and I just didn't want to be around it. But
Tell me why you think that, because you've been in the game for so long, like why do you think men feel the urge to give you unsolicited advice?
I mean, that happens to, my friend is an engineer. She's like the number 2 at Nestle, and I'm sure that she has to deal with that as well. Like, or at Hershey or one of those. I forgot, one of those chocolate companies, but she's really high up. And I think that, you know, it gives them a sense of purpose if they feel insecure, right? Or it always feels like you know something if you're teaching.
Yes.
You know, and I just look at the fruits of people's labor. Like I know whose advice to take and who's not. Because if I don't think you're funny or good, why would I take your advice? But
in the
some of them are
beginning,
just
it would
sexy.
get to me.
Right?
Like, I wonder if that happens to
I
you
get that
too a
all the
lot.
time. People give me advice. I'm like, why would I ever listen to you? Like, look at your life. You've done nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's true. But people just give
it's
advice
true,
unsolicited. Like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm actually really curious to know, like, you mentioned about finding your voice. And with each of you, you know, you guys are comedians and we're here at a podcast. Like, what was the journey of you finding your voice?
Ooh, practice. Practice. I think when you start doing stand-up at the beginning, a lot of comedians do their best impression of what they think a comedian is supposed to be. Like when you see people hitting the mic on their leg and laughing at their own jokes,
They're like, Chappelle does that, I'm going to do that.
I'm going to look legit. Like, I'm going to sit on this stool and not be funny.
Yeah.
But I think it's practice and just getting comfortable in your own voice and being okay with the silence. Laughter is not the only payoff in comedy. You want people to hear you. You want it to resonate. You want to make people think. For me, some people, they're like, every 8 seconds, I got to get a laugh. And I'm like, that's exhausting. I'm not that kind of comedian. And I love I can laugh at people like that. And it's lovely. Everybody deserves a right to do it the way they do it. But for me to find my voice, I had to really just be okay and comfortable in the silence. And sometimes the awkwardness of the audience not laughing and understanding that. I remember I was opening for Russell Peters one time. Yeah. And he said, how do you think you did tonight? And we were in West Palm Beach. I said, I don't know. The first show, they laughed the whole show. The second show, they didn't really laugh that much. He said, you're such a novice. He said, you were so busy and focused on the laugh that you missed that they were listening to you.
Oh.
And it was one of the greatest lessons for me in comedy because he was like, he would always, Russell's always joking. So he'll say something like, oh, Daniel-san, just pay attention. Sometimes you have something to say. And so they're listening to you. And that's a compliment. And it took me a minute.
He's always one of the good
Shout out to Russell Peters.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's a good one. I just opened for him recently.
Yeah, he's always
giving
creating
chances.
opportunities to people, new people, and doing amazing things for people.
And always offers advice. And that's somebody you're like, give me your advice. Like, I actually want to hear it. You've done this well. So
I just texted him about some watch I wanted to buy. I was like, what do you think, dude? He's like, dude, this is overpriced.
All right, dude. It's funny advice though, right? He gives fun.
He's fun. He's great. Yeah. He's great.
I called him one time and I said, hey, New Wave wants to sign me. There's a management company. Yeah. I don't know what to do. He said, New Wave is better than no wave. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. He's funny. All right. Hey, before I forget, can we do a quick shout out for Dialogue Coffee?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I want to make a quick shout out to Dialogue for these incredible drinks this fine Saturday. I'm drinking a latte sweetened with honey. I got my inspiration from Aida. But Natasha, what are you drinking?
My always go-to favorite, Dialogue Detox.
Lavender matcha latte. My fave.
And this is a latte sweetened with honey and almond milk.
Ooh.
It's all delicious. We appreciate you, Dialogue.
it's good.
Check them out. They got multiple locations throughout LA. Thank you.
Thank you, Dialogue.
Thank you, Dialogue.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Guys, if you like this show, please consider joining our Patreon. Support us so we can make more great content for you. Thanks. I have a panel question. I mean, we're already talking, but Ida, what is something people often assume about you based on your background and they usually get completely wrong?
I think the tough thing, which is exhausting, also being tall, brown, Caribbean. People think that I'm tough, and I'm probably, my friends, the people who are close to me kind of think I'm a sucker. They're
Really?
like, yes. They're like, Dad, she's a sucker. She's such a punk. Everybody gets her, which I got a lot. But I don't feel bad about it, and I don't feel like a sucker. I don't ever feel that me being kind and generous is ever a downfall for me. I feel like whoever takes advantage of it, that's their bad. But I'm always gonna lead with kindness, and I don't care. I'm never gonna betray myself to feel like I gotta fit in with other people. I've never done it. But that's one of the things. People that don't know me, they're like, oh, you don't wanna mess with Ida. And I'm like, please don't.
Yeah, it's not.
You like New York though, right? You do a lot of spots in New York.
I love New York. Yeah, New York is where I do, I work at the Cellar and at the Stand, but I feel a community there. I feel like some of the greater comedians that have really helped me with my stand-up, like 𝐬𝐿𝐫𝐫𝐷 Standards helped me with my Netflix. She helped me with some of my jokes. I think she's like one of the best comedians in the game. Ian is there. Like I have community there, Monroe Martin, like some of my like good friends in comedy, people who I respect, like Dan Soder, who I think is really funny. And
The scene is so good
Keith
in New
Robinson.
York. It's like
Oh,
the
Keith's
best.
the best, man.
I adore him.
Yeah, I just love stand up in New York. It's like literally
I
the
could
best.
do just go. I've done like 25 sets in a weekend.
Oh my
and just
God.
go.
That's
go,
what
go.
I'm going for 2 weeks in August.
Nice.
And I'm headlining my first at Broadway Comedy Club.
nice.
But like the smaller room,
Congratulations.
but like
Don't
but
diminish
then-
it.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
headlining
Yeah.
at the Broadway Comedy Club. Yeah.
Thank you. But trying to just like go for a week before that and just do spots like everywhere because you can't do that in LA as much. But in New York, it's like you could just get multiple in a night and it's so fun.
What's one thing about you that people mistake?
I think the biggest misconception is like I can come off pretty like feminine, I think, because of like my social media or whatever. But I'm always like, is it weird to say like, I think I identify as like a 10-year-old boy? Because like
It's kind of weird.
I actually like met an executive recently. They said that to me. They're like, "Are you a 10-year-old boy?" And I was like, kind of feel like that on the inside because like I'm like a huge wrestling fan. I love like Marvel, DC. I like love comic books. I am just like it. Like me and my 7-year-old nephew, we're like besties because I'm like, "Did you watch the latest Pokemon?" I was like, "Did you watch Avatar: Last Airbender?" And he was like, "I'm gonna go watch Toy Story." I was like, "Did you wait to watch Toy Story 5 with me?" I was like, "Don't tell me what happens in the end." I was like, "I want to know."
What does your husband feel?
He actually is also like a nerd, and,
okay.
and so he laughs about it. He's just like, because I'm just very tomboyish, but I grew up with a brother, so people are kind of surprised about like how deep I get into like wrestling fandom. But I'm like, that's
I didn't know that about you.
Your husband's a 10-year-old boy too.
yeah, that's why we get along.
You're besties.
We're
Yeah.
gay. We're like a little baby gay couple.
I love that.
I don't know. I don't know what I meant by that. My brain
get
just
some
saw
context for
10-year-old
that
boy,
one.
10-year-old boy.
Somebody's going to respond to that.
Yeah, well, whatever.
You'll get a good clip.
Yeah.
You know what? We accept it. How about you,
What
Chelsea?
about you, Tarun?
No, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think it's a cliche. I think a lot of people assume that I've had an easy life and that I barely get rejection or bullying, but I've had a lot of cheery nights, and I feel like whatever they see is just a product of a lot of hard work and resilience and just rolling with the punches, honestly. So, yeah, every time I see a comment section saying like, "You only just let's be real, like." You only have what you have because you're like pretty or something. I'm just like, you don't even know me. Let me pull up a video of when I was like 15 years old, 16 years old, And those videos are gonna come up soon.
You're a public figure, though, on the internet especially. So you're going to get that.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like an annoying cop out that women get all the time. Like a guy's
And
just
men.
there.
Men get it, too.
But their thing is always just like they diminish us by just being like, "Oh, it's because you're attractive. That's why you don't get." You're like, I think it actually makes life a little harder for us because we're constantly like people are batting off just random creeps at all stages.
Yeah, and I also like the people who are commenting, I like don't want them to think that there's nothing that they can do in their life to like, like if you think that, oh, you're just born with a set of cards and there's nothing else you can do, that's not a good mindset to have. Like I want people to think like you can reinvent yourself, you can work hard, like take charge of your life, be proactive rather than reactive, So every time when I see that comment, I'm just like, no, like you, like I did it, you can do it too.
You try to inspire them.
Yeah, and I also don't want them to think that, it's like, oh, it's out of my hands.
It's all relative too. I started modeling when I was 14 years old. I was on the runway. When I started doing stand-up, people were like, "She's cute." I went to Korea, and somebody told me that in Korea I was ugly, and I was like, because I was dark. And they were like, "You're not attractive here," and I'm like, it's all relative too. What you think is beautiful, somebody else may not, and those people think you're beautiful, and they're projecting their insecurities onto you. But the idea that this especially because of the social media, that people are so preoccupied with aesthetics, and it's all capitalism. It's just to get you to spend money. And the truth is that you go under J-Lo's post, some people are like, she's beautiful, she's a goddess. And then there are people like, she needs to sit down, she's too old to be dressed. It doesn't matter. All of it is just people that are sitting at home and don't feel good about themselves, and you just become the target. you know?
Yeah.
And you just got to move with it.
100%.
What's yours?
Yeah, Tarun.
I know.
No, my thing is, Natasha and I, we did an episode with a huge influencer, YouTube influencer, who reviews Indian movies. I got eviscerated in that episode. I know you saw the comments. Well, a lot of them.
Is that with the white guy? Oh, yeah, I saw that. I watched a lot of those clips.
Wait,
Yeah,
what did
so
you get?
not just that episode. I used to work for a Bollywood station. I was like a correspondent on like a big Indian show, and people are always like, "Oh, he's not Indian. He's just some whitewashed kid from New Hampshire."
You?
Yeah, which I'm actually very Indian. Like, even though, like, I didn't grow up in India. I spent my summers in India, in Mumbai, in Bangalore specifically. But like the way my mom raised me, I have like a lot of Indian values still that I stick to, and I'm not really that religious anymore after my mom passed, but I still am very Indian, and I still like fall back in my character, which comes from, I think, like the Hinduism that we grew up with. So it doesn't annoy me, but I get that comment a lot, like, "Oh, he's not Indian." I mean, I do a diversity podcast with a lot of Indians on it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's people just projecting their own stuff onto you, which I'm sure you guys all deal with.
And also, it's just like, we got to stop with this. Like, people have to fit into the box exactly the way I see the box. It's like, there's no right box. And the best thing my mom taught me was she's like, you're not going to make everybody happy, and not everyone's going to like you. Yeah. And that's just the truth, right? Like, I don't think that we should be judging anybody on their spectrum of how they relate to their culture. There are going to be some people who just don't because of the way they grew up. And then there's some people who are super in it. And it's like, we got to stop these purity tests about that, because without getting into politics, I'm holding back so hard right now.
Hilarious.
But
the last episode, by the way, was all politics.
oh, okay. Okay,
you
great.
know.
Well, I'll just say this one thing, but like, our vice president keeps, changing the goalpost of what counts as being American. And so I'm like, okay, well, if they fought in the Civil War, and I'm like, but what about the people before that? You can just keep changing the goalpost and we'll never be enough. So forget all that. Just be yourself. You're perfect. You're a great Daisy.
But no, I'm okay with it. I actually think if people are discovering you, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You want people to not like you. That's okay. Especially as a comedian, I'm okay with that.
Right, yeah. Like Alan always says, actually hate comments are a good thing because it means your videos are being pushed out to not your target demographics. Right. And it's being pushed out to people who like don't want to see that. And the fact that, like you're just getting, just people's opinions. And it's also humbling to know like, oh yeah, a lot of people think in different ways. And I wanted to ask you a question, Tarun, because you have an episode that comes out every week, right? And during episodes where you get like a bunch of polarizing comments or hate comments, do you feel like you bring that on to the next episode? Or do you feel like, no, I can reinvent myself and maybe a year from now the show could look so different and everyone, even you might forget how you sounded like or the comments were in the year before.
And they can speak to this as well. Like, as a stand-up comedian, you go show to show. Like, you're only as good as your last show, and you got to like just forget, like blank out the last however it went, even if it's like the same night. So that's how I operate this podcast. Like, some shows are better than others. I can feel the energy. Like, this is a great show. You can't get bogged down by it. And by the way, you have so much stuff to talk about. Your podcast, your movies. I'm sorry we're not going to get to all of it.
That's okay. It's okay. I'm enjoying this conversation. Like, this is more.
But I hope that answers your question. Like, you have to kind of just move forward always.
Yeah.
You know what a lot of people don't know about me is my father's Hindu. My
No
father's,
way.
yeah, he's a descendant of a sect of Indians that migrated to the Caribbean. So I'm the only child that he has that doesn't have a Hindu name. Like, my brother's name is Krishna. My sister's name is Lakshmi.
Really?
Yeah, I have a sister named Mariana Chandra.
No way.
Radharani.
I didn't know that.
Nobody knows that. But
Girl, you're the whole 1 billion population of audience. You gotta lean into that.
I know.
You gotta
That's
talk
out right now.
That's what
love
Russell
that.
told me. Russell
gotta
was like, "You better lean into them Indians."
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't want to insult anybody because I didn't grow up Hindu, but my father is, and so it's been interesting. My mom's super Christian, or allegedly, and then him, and he's far more peaceful.
Yeah.
He is so interesting.
But I think the honest version of that would just be you talking about how, like, you have a Hindu dad, you didn't grow up with it, but like the stuff that you learned or are exposed to or whatever, I think it's really super fun.
Me and my sisters, and they all like call out, say their names, and then I'm like, Ida.
They're like Chandra, Lakshmi, Krishna, Aida.
Do you know what Aida means or how your name came about?
So Aida is Ethiopian, and it has roots in Ethiopia and Egypt. It was a matriarch, and she was a queen, and that's where there's an opera. She was beheaded by the men because she was so powerful. They conspired and beheaded her, and now there's an opera about it.
Wow. The more you know.
Yeah.
Are you the tallest among your siblings?
No, my sisters are all tall.
Oh, wow.
On my father's side. My sister on my mom's side is short, but
It is my dream to be your guys' height. I'm wearing like 3 4-inch wedge sneakers.
I love it.
I'm a really tiny human.
Do you have siblings?
I have 2 older brothers.
Are they tall too?
Yeah. They're like 6'1", and my eldest brother and I, if we're standing next to each other, we might look like the same height. I think it's just an optical illusion. I look taller than I am. But yeah,
It's an illusion.
it is. For some reason, I just look really tall.
Because you have long legs.
Yeah, and I'm accepting my height now. I think what a lot of people don't know is that growing up and being an actor, a lot of my teachers were like, you're going to get a lot of rejection because you're tall and you're an actor. And actually, the first time when I acted with Alan, I thought that I would never get called back again because all the comment section was like, she's so much taller than you, da-da-da. And I was like, oh, I'm never going to see Alan again. But he kept calling me back. And yeah, we've been doing it for more than 5 years.
We should wrap up. I just want to plug a few things for Aida. But your podcast, which is phenomenal, which I guess you tape here, which I didn't know.
Yeah, you got to come do it now.
Say anytime you want me.
I would love for you to do it.
Anytime. I am super unhinged.
You can all do it.
Yeah.
Say What You Mean podcast, the remix show at the Ford Theater, your own show you do once a month.
This is my first time doing it on the 17th.
That's amazing. You
Thank
sell
you.
this huge theater. I mean, you have a movie coming out, the hurricane movie. What is it called?
Hurricane Seasons.
Hurricane Seasons. I mean, she's doing so much. She has a memoir, out as well. She's got so
Thank
much.
you.
We're not doing justice to her work.
I
Guys,
forget.
Google her,
No,
watch
it's
her
all
stuff.
good. None of that matters anymore. We just got to find a good bunker.
Yeah.
And your apocalypse crew. Like,
Amen.
Where can we find you on social media?
funny Aida, AIDA, and yeah, that's where I am. And on Facebook, which people still go to, and I didn't realize until I went and saw the other day, Aida.Rodriguez, and funnyaida.com is my website.
Oh, you can find me at Chelsea Sik everywhere.
Yeah, or watch your show,
Nice.
also on YouTube.
Yeah, and soon to be on Netflix.
Yes, super exciting, super proud of everyone.
I'm at Natasha Chandel on Instagram and Facebook, Natasha.Chandel on TikTok.
And you can find me at the Shetty, and you follow us at the Convo Sutra. Thanks to everybody for doing
you.
this.
Thank you.
I know you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wish this was a 5-hour conversation.
I know.
Could have kept going.
Yeah, let's
I'm
keep
going to
going.
follow y'all.
Yeah,
same.
same.
You could come do my show.
Yeah, let's
I'm bringing my podcast back that Russell and all these people have been on. You guys, when it's back, you guys have to come on it. So.
Let's all do a podcast.
Let's go back to my place. We'll do a live
another
stream.
podcast.
And
No,
that
I'm
one we can
serious.
talk about
You guys want-
politics.
Okay.
So I know you might not want to. We'll steer clear, but we will
We'll
fucking get
definitely.
in.
And thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. We will see you next week. Take care.